Did you hear about that story about that teacher getting sentenced to 16 months because she stole jewelry from a 5-year-old? A 5-year-old. So what happened was the little girl needed to go to the restroom allegedly, and the teacher assisted her going to the restroom. In her mind, she thought, oh, she's 5. If this little girl loses her jewelry, her parents aren't going to bat an eye. She's 5. So what happened was, once the little girl and her walked to the restroom, she said, let me take this jewelry from you. I don't want you to get it wet. I don't want you to mess up your jewelry. After the little girl finished washing her hands, she goes back to the teacher and she says, can I get my bracelet back? The teacher blows her off. Blows her off like, okay, sweetie, okay, yeah. The little girl asks again, can I get my bracelet back? The teacher somehow was extremely busy. The teacher ended up pawning the bracelet. Baby girl ended up going home, and of course the parents gonna ask, baby, what happened to your bracelet? I gave it to teacher so-and-so, but she just didn't give it back. So the teacher surmised in her head, it's a 5-year-old. If the 5-year-old loses the bracelet, the parents aren't going to bat an eye, like I said. They're just either going to buy her another one or deem her as irresponsible. Not only did this happen once, but this happened multiple times to multiple students. She made it a habit of taking jewelry from little kids and pawning it. And then in court, while she was getting convicted, the judge asked her, and it's crazy the judge that she got, because if you look up the case, that judge don't play. I've seen horrible things that this judge has said, and that judge don't play. I digress. She said, my husband is disabled. I don't have enough hours at work. And that was her excuse for stealing from a 5-year-old. And what I don't think is talked about enough is, let's say, for instance, a couple years down the line, this girl is having behavioral issues in school because she don't trust teachers. Or now her parents are forced to put her either in homeschool or forced to put her in a charter school or a private school because they don't trust the teachers in public school. This is a 5-year-old. Baby girl couldn't have been in a grade higher than kindergarten, no? It's a crazy world we live in. It's a crazy world we live in. I can't sympathize at all. There's so many ways to make money out here without taking from folks.
Y'all, when I was a sophomore in college, I used to live off campus in this duplex apartment with my ex-boyfriend. And on Fridays, he would leave to go to work early in the morning, and I would sleep in because I didn't have class. Well, one Friday while he was at work, someone had broken into our apartment while I was sleeping and came into our bedroom and stood in the hallway of my bedroom staring at me while I was asleep. Thank God my dog sleeps with me in the bed because she woke me up because she kept barking. When I woke up, all I see is this tall man in a ski mask. I can't even see his face. He's wearing all black, and he's just staring at me in my bedroom. Mind you, I sleep naked, so we're just looking at each other like this. After we stared at each other for like 20 seconds, he literally backed out of the room super slowly and closed the door. And I just looked at my dog, and I hurried up, and I got up, and I put some clothes on, and I tried to chase after him, and he was gone. After the intruder had left, I called my ex-boyfriend and I called the police. They both ended up coming in about 15 minutes, and I gave my report to the police. Once the police had left, my boyfriend looks at me in my eyes. Y'all, this man didn't ask me if I was okay. This man didn't ask me, did he hurt you? Did he touch you? First thing this man said was, do you think he was coming after me? You ain't got no motion. What the fuck? You work at Jersey Mike. Shut the fuck up. I still think about that shit to this day.
Story time of how I got kicked off / quit the cheer team my senior year of high school. This story is honestly so crazy. Like, I don't even know where to start. Backstory, this was my senior year during COVID when school was like optional. You could choose to be online or in person. I chose to be online, so the only time I had to go up to school was for cheer practice at the end of the day. Every year, my family does a big Halloween party at our house, obviously in October when it's cold. So I was out doing things with my friends, and I guess one of the moms that was at our Halloween party at my house decided to wear my Letterman. Keep in mind, my cheer Letterman that I have to wear at the football games. Obviously, our parents were drinking at this Halloween party, and this mom was wearing my Letterman, and I guess left a fireball shooter in the pocket of it. And this next Friday, we have a football game in our hometown. So Friday rolls around, and we're on the bus to go to C.H. Collins, where we had our football games. And as soon as we get there, I have to go to the bathroom really bad. So I rip my Letterman off, and when I throw it on the ground, I guess this fireball shooter that I had no idea was in the pocket flies across the football field. Not like actually, but flies on the football field, And one of my guy friends that's on the cheer team with me, I guess, saw it and like picked it up off the field and put it in his backpack. Well, one of the girls on the cheer team really disliked my guy friend and snitched, I guess. I didn't know this was an issue until we go back to practice on Monday, and our coach calls in my guy friend, and we're like, that's weird. Like, I wonder what's going on. He comes out of her office, like, stomping out, slams her door, and, like, leaves school. And we were like, what the hell? Next thing you know, the cheer coach comes out, and she's like, Megan, can you step in my office? And I'm like, huh? And she was like, is it true that you had alcohol on C.H. Collins' property? And I was like, oh. And I told her the backstory about how my parents have a Halloween party and that one of the moms wore my Letterman and I guess left a fireball shooter in there. Obviously, since I was 18 at the time and on like school ground, she has to report it to our principal. And my guy friend didn't want me to get in trouble, so he like tried to take the blame for it, but the stories like weren't aligning, I guess, and they found out like it was me who had the fireball shooter. So both of our families had to go up to the school for a meeting, but him and I were not allowed to go. It was just our families. And I guess they told our families that we were suspended from the cheer team for like the next 3 or 4 games. Keep in mind, we're in playoffs, so we don't even know if we're going to have 3 or 4 games left. So we're upset. We're really upset. We were also suspended from campus for 30 days, which was fine because I literally did online school. But they told us that we would be able to cheer if we made it to state. We had no idea if we were going to make it to state or not. So time rolls around, we end up making it to state. The day before the game, we had not heard anything. So we called the principal and they're like, no, y'all actually can't cheer. But you can cheer for the last basketball game of the year, which was February. We were like, no, screw y'all. We're not cheering for basketball. You told us we could cheer at state if we made it to state. We made it, and they said no, we couldn't cheer. So we quit. Then it became this big ordeal because our parents threw a fit, and we're like, how are you not going to let them cheer their last game ever of senior year? And they're in COVID. Give them a break, you know? So they told us we weren't even allowed to go to the state game and be on AT&T's property, which they don't even own. And we were like, screw that. No, we're still going. You're not going to know out of the 50,000 people or how many ever people are going if we're going to be there or not. No one's checking to see if we go. So we went, obviously. We ended up winning state, and then the cheer coach tried to tell us, y'all can still order a state champion ring, but it can't be through the school. You have to order it through the same website, through the same company, but can't be affiliated with the school. Huh? No, I don't even want that ring. And you know what the most messed up part of it all was? The cheer coach had told us, if you would have just lied to me and never said that you had the alcohol, I never would have had a snitch, and this never would have happened. What? So you want me to lie to you? You want me to lie to an adult? Make it make sense. The second messed up thing was that our so-called friends told the cheer coach, yeah, I saw them with the alcohol. I'm sorry. If roles were reversed, I would have been like, nope, I did not see my friend with the alcohol, to save your butt. Fake friends. So I quit the cheer team, graduated, never talked to them again because no. So yeah, that's the story of how I basically quit, but also kind of got kicked off the cheer team my senior year of high school during COVID.